What's up, everyone? It is your girl GELBEAUTY 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another Why You Don't Need episode. So as soon as I saw this palette that's dropping from Glamlite that dropped today while I'm filming this video, so it'll be the 25th, which is Black Friday, I saw the strawberry Shortcake and Glamlite palette, and I immediately was like, you don't need this. And you know why you don't need this? I feel like we all know why you don't need this, but I was just like, I have to make a video on why you don't need this palette. So the reason you don't need this palette is because you have the Mented Cosmetics Strawberry Milkshake palette. So if you already have this palette, you don't need that palette. So we're gonna do a cute little look with this palette, and as you can see, it has lots of similar colors to it. You can go on Instagram and look at the picture. I just showed you the picture though, but like, I feel like you don't need that palette if you have this palette because it has so many similar colors in it. Now it doesn't have this bright green, but I feel like it has this green. It has a more dual chromey green shimmer, so I don't think the shimmer is the same, but I feel like you have so many pinks and reds in here and greens in there that I can make a similar look with the palette. So that's why I'm like, that's why you don't need it. I also got another video that I gotta do like this about another brand and another, what do you call it, palette? Another palette from Unearthly of, you know, why you don't need it. So I'm like, you don't need it, you just don't. But I feel like these colors, oh wait, no, it does have a, well, it has the shimmery green, the kind of bright shimmery green I just showed you all, but it doesn't have like the bright matte green. And as you can see, it has a lot of those same pinkish shades to it. So I'm feeling like fairly confident that I can make it look like, I know I got this dark green, I know I got this dark burgundy. I'm just looking at the picture for myself. The pink is a little more neon-y hot pink than in here, but I have that shade. Then I have like the bright shimmery green to go along with it. It just doesn't seem to have that many pink mattes, pink shimmer, so I'll probably have to use this one. But it's like, we're gonna do an eye look with this to tell you that you don't need this, because if I'm, let me see, how much is this palette? I don't even remember. Child, I just bought the whole collection, by the way, so we can actually put them side by side and do a battle of blood and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I did end up getting like a whole clown, but you know, I have to save you from the clownness. Even though I told y'all before, J. Cole told me not to save you. Ain't nobody listening to him. He needs to mind his business. We not all millionaires like him. Gas is like $5 a gallon. I will save you, despite him saying you don't want to be saved, because I know he's a liar. So we're gonna get into this palette. I'm going to take the shades I told you about, so I'll probably take this row right here, and then like this shimmer right here on the lid, and this shimmer right here in the inner corner. That's why I could do the eye look with just this palette on its own. Then when I get the Glamlite collection in the mail, then we'll get a better idea of how it looks and all that, and then I'll do a look with it on its own, and then I'll give y'all a battle with this alongside it. So I did get it just so, you know, we could compare for comparison purposes. Y'all seem to like what I do Glamlite content as well, so it's like, since y'all like Glamlite, I like Glamlite, and I already had this palette, I figured we just put them side by side and see how it works. So I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, and do an eye look like I talked about, and then be right back. But if you're curious what's on my eyes right now, I got the Climax palette from NARS. It's currently 50% off on NARS's clearance site. Now when you see this video, it might not be, but you can still find it at Nordstrom's rack. So shout out to what was it, I Am Jamila. She posted on her community tab that the palette got back in stock, so I went over to Nordstrom's rack and bought it along with some other stuff. I think I bought the Orgasm face palette for the deeper skin tone shade. I got the I got some Mented Cosmetics too, so I got one of their lip glosses. I actually have it on right now. I don't know what I did with the box. Oh, here it is. So I think it's called Coquette. That's lip gloss I have on from them. This is my first time trying it. It's kind of sticky. I'm not necessarily feeling the vibe of it, but the highlighter that they have is stunning. I got the deepest shade they had, and I think it was like $10. So I'm feeling some of the newer Mented Cosmetics things I tried, but the lip gloss is just giving a little too much of a sticky vibe, and I think I'm just more of a fan of the Stefani ones right now, so that's why I'm just kind of like about it. But you know, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I told you what the rest of it is on my face, so I'm gonna go off camera now, get my life in order, get an eye done, and then we'll come back and see how the eye works out with this palette. This palette is still in stock, by the way. I thought she had gotten rid of it, but no, she just changed to where you can take the shadows out. As you can see in mine, you can't pop them out, but if you all saw my Wishing Hour palette and some other palettes she sells, there's a hole up there where you can pop out the palette. Pop out the shades and switch them around however you like. So I like the fact that she's trying to get into that too, like Natasha, Denona, and ColourPop and Melt does, where you can move the shades around and make your own custom Unearthly Cosmetics palette, because like some of those dual chromes she has is really cool, and I want to get those. And it's like if I can switch them around the palettes I already have, that'll be awesome. So the only palette I think I have from her besides Witching Hour and Sleepover is the Smells Like Holiday Spirit palette that I can switch stuff around in. So I think it'd be cool in the future if she does that with all palettes, and then you can just make your custom Unearthly palette. But anyway, like I said, I need to go off camera and get this eye done, girl, because honey, I'm tired. So I'll be right back. Okay, girl. Okay. Okay, y'all, it's the time of day where I'm chasing the sun, but this is the look that we went with the strawberry milkshake palette, as to tell you why you don't need the Glamlite strawberry shortcake palette. So let's get to it. I gotta chase the sun and get out here before, you know, it goes down completely by like 5 o'clock, and then I can't take any pictures, and it's like 3:30 now. So girl, let's get to it. Girl, let's get to it. So y'all, I had to buy a new computer because the one I've been editing on for like the last 4 years is like, you know, she's dying. She's dying. Sorry, I think I've been editing on for the last 3 years. I had bought it for Adriangameover because, you know, the pandemic had started and I was making him do e-learning like, you know, the average parent was. So let me show you what I started off with. So I use this shade right here. I use this pink. I literally use this whole row basically. Then I use this shade and this shade on the lid, and then put this green in the corner. But those are like pretty much all the shades that match from the palette, because I looked at the palette on a Google, crap, I dipped into the wrong shade. So I get to try to talk and, you know, do eyeshadow. But I literally just screenshotted the picture off their Instagram page, and I feel like they even have like the little purple shade she has. I'm like, dang, she couldn't even have a little purple shade. Like, I feel like they just all look really similar. But back to what I was saying about the computer. So like, I've had her for like a good 3 years, and you know, like, and then somebody else had it I think like a year before they sold it to me. So I'm just like, yeah, it's time to free myself and get a new HP. I like them, but I feel like their battery life is like horrible. But in all fairness, like the one I had is like, you know, like 4 to 5 years old. So I'm like, the battery life I'm sure is horrible, because you know, like, it's super old, and you know, I need to let it go and free myself. But you know, it's hard. But the best part about the deal my cousin found for me, because remember, I don't know if you all, I don't know if I said this in another video or not. I filmed like a few videos there. I might have said it in multiple videos. My bad if I did. But like, I talked about how I went to Wisconsin every year for Thanksgiving for my cousin. I think I said this in the past video too. So the last couple of years, they've let us come to their house for Thanksgiving, because you know, my grandma died, and they were trying to be nice and let us like come have a family dinner with family, as opposed to like sitting at home. I guess just thinking about it, because my grandma was actually the one who did a lot of the cooking for Thanksgiving. So you know, my mom said she's gonna try some of my grandma's recipes for Christmas and see how that goes. But yeah, they let us come over there. So I was at her house, and I was telling her about how I needed a computer so I could edit my YouTube videos on. So she had told me about, I'm taking the red shade now, just this precise pencil brush, and just like literally trying to into my crease. But yeah, so she had told me about, she had found this deal with like 2 computers for like $500. And I was like, what? You found two laptops for $500? Like, where did you find this? And she was like, HSN. Because I don't use a home shopping network. I use QVC because of my girl Amy aka Beauty Deals BFF2. I use it because of her. And so I had told her about it, and then she forgot about it. So then in the morning when Black Friday came, because I was still at her house, we spent the night, and then I had to come back, and I had to go to work last night, which was like horrible, because I don't usually work Friday. But since I had like obviously Thanksgiving off, they made me work Friday night. So I was talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, I still need to look for a computer. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right. So because we were upstairs talking about it, and then when we went downstairs, we started talking about other stuff like going on in life, and didn't think about the computer anymore. But I had thought about it again before I had left her house, and so I told her about it, and she was like, okay, let me hook you up. So she showed me, sure enough, on HSN, sorry, where they had 2 HP laptops for $500. Now Adrian had been begging me to get him a computer, but I was like, he doesn't take care of things. So I was like, I'm not about to spend, you know, expensive money on a laptop and you don't know how to take care of things. Because his dad bought him a laptop, and that laptop got messed up. So when his dad bought the laptop, And then he messed up. I was like, yeah, we not buying you one. And he had tablets in the past, and he threw tantrums and broke them and messed them up. And I'm like, yeah, so nobody's buying you anything electrical because you don't know how to treat things. He's like, if I treat my video games fine. It's like, yeah, but what happens to the last laptop Daddy got you? Exactly. It's like, he's like, that wasn't my fault. The backlight went out and some BS excuse. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That wasn't your fault. Like, I have a computer and, you know, that type of stuff if it happened to mine. So, you know, I find it hard to believe that it's just a coincidence that your computer did that when I've seen you have fits with tablets in the past and mess up things. So I was like, you know. But since I'm getting 2 for the price of 1, I'm thinking about maybe getting for Christmas, and then that way I don't have to worry about, you know, buying too much anything else, because like that's the thing he said he wanted. He said he wanted a gaming computer, but I'm like, you don't take whatever computer came in this set, because they gave me a navy blue one and a rose gold one for like $4.99, and then I found a $20 coupon off on top of that, so that took some of the taxes off of the price of it. So I was just like, yes, give it to me. I'm just doing glitter glue now, y'all saw I put the like pink shade over the top. But yeah, so I was too excited because I was like, yes, this is the ultimate deal. And I had been like concerned about how I was gonna get one, and then I found my computer. But look at this pink shade, y'all. It is so sparkly and stunning. So I'm just trying to kind of pat it on and kind of shape the eye accordingly with it. I still got one more eyeshadow video to do today. And then I got to come back tonight and do some other ones. So I'm going to do the commentary videos tonight when I come back. But I need to go get gas by my house, because gas by my house is like $3.46, my mom said. And I'm like, yes, because the gas by my grandmother's house is like $4. And when we went on vacation, well, not vacation, but when we drove to Wisconsin, because y'all know Wisconsin is a state over. It's like Wisconsin is on one side and Indiana is on the other side. But when I went to Wisconsin, it was what was it? It was like in the $4 range still. So I'm like, it's not a good deal to buy gas here, because y'all gas is, you know, just as high as my state. So now we're gonna take the purple shade and stick it in the front. I like the way it just plays off the other shadow I have on the eye already. So I'm just like, yeah, just give it to me. And look how stunning it looks like. Look at that. Yes. Now we're gonna go back in a little bit of the green shade. So that's like what I feel like is probably the best deal I got, as far as like something I truly needed. Like, because we know I don't need any makeup. It's just more I needed in the sense of like content purposes, or stuff I needed to add to my collection so I could compare the things or things in that nature. But like something that I truly needed, like a computer, I actually got an excellent deal. So needless to say, I was excited about that. I was like, yes, give me the deal. Give me the deal. I'm going with the red a little bit more, just because I want it to be a little more concentrated and detailed. And I feel like the shimmer is coming up a little high, so I want to bring that depth back. So last, we're going to use the shade Fresh. That's the green one, and that's the one I'll pop in the inner corner. I will put some on the lower lash line, but like I told y'all, I gotta do, well, I would've just ran the red on the lower lash line again to, you know, help out with that, but I can't because we got other eye looks too. So I'm backing on up and talk about this look, girl. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm here for the look. I think it's cute. I really like it, and I feel like you would get the exact same look with the Glamlite palette and maybe a couple more. I told you all what the palette looked like at the beginning, and I feel like it definitely gives the vibes of this palette right here. They just added a few more tones for you to have to airbrush over and things like that, and Hayden kept it like more simple and to the point. But I'm here for it. I'm loving the eye look. I'm gonna go outside and rush to take these look at me, I think I'm sexy pictures, and I feel like that's why you should use this palette as opposed to that palette. So that's why you don't need the palette. But either palette you choose, make sure you use code Cage Makeup, because Karen has a code at Glamlite as well as at Unearthly Cosmetics. So those are my thoughts. I really love this palette. If you all remember me ranking my palettes, this was in the top for the alien palettes, sorry, the Unearthly palettes, but I really like it. So those are my thoughts, and that's why I think you don't need the other one if you already own this one. Just remember this one and pull it out, okay? I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.